This September, New York is going to light up with culture, Caribbean glamour, and style. The River Runway, a Republic Day soiree, honors 5 TNT nationals on Saturday, the 20th of September. Joining us this morning is Renee Cummings, patron and honorary chair of the River Runway. Good morning, Renee, and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you with us on the show this morning. Renee, let's get straight into what makes the River Runway Republic Day soiree such a significant event for Trinidad and Tobago.
So it's going to be extraordinarily significant because we're going to recognize 5 amazing nationals. Dominic Calipasard is going to receive the Lifetime Achievement Award for Journalism and Public Discourse. And if anyone follows Dominic Calipasard in any of the social spaces, even after his retirement from full-time journalism, he continues to inform, to educate, and to make us aware of what is excellent about us. Of course, Asha Lovelace is receiving the Heritage Award for her work in film programming. And for the last 10 years, Asha has ensured that we are represented in film. She has curated the Africa Film Trinidad and Tobago, and most recently, she curated the Caribbean Film Festival. And her work when it comes to showing us images of ourselves and helping us create our own narratives of representation and inclusion and diversity. Very, very powerful work. And then we have Nicole Dyer Griffith, who is receiving the Beacon Award. And in her greatest moment of uncertainty, Nicole has been a beacon of hope for so many of us when it comes to the ways in which we need to think about health and to think about healing and to think about transformation. And of course, we're going to give the Vanguard Award in fashion to Rick Davey. Rick Davey left our shores many years ago. He created something called Brooklyn Fashion Weekend, which is morphed into Brooklyn Fashion Week, which is now considered a critical aspect of New York fashion and also a product he has taken to the UK, to Japan, to Italy. And the Spirit of the Diaspora Award goes to Victoria Britt for her work when it comes to immigration advocacy and when it comes to community spirit and when it comes to cultural promotion in New York City. So 5 amazing Trinidad and Tobago nationals in a Met Gala inspired event. Of course, we have some amazing Trinidad and Tobago artists as well. And just coming together to celebrate what is excellent about us as Trinidad and Tobago. I always say that great countries are not only visible because of their excellence, but they become unforgettable because of that excellence. And the other thing that I like people to know is that, global and world class were both invented in Trinidad and Tobago.
Definitely. Couldn't agree with you more. There's so much to talk about and unpack from this because it's going to be an absolutely transformational event. But we'd love to stick with the honorees for just a moment because you've mentioned people that have impacted communities, impacted lives, not just here in Trinidad and Tobago, but in the region, and to use your words, on that global scale particularly. From what you've seen, how do you think these honorees are going to inspire the next generation on a global level?
Most definitely. And the reason we chose Republic Day, because Republic Day was the day we matured. Of course, there's independence, and Republic is when we decided to shape our own future, our own cultural identity, our own political identity. And I believe these individuals are shaping the future. Again, one of the things that we always get from Dominic Calipasard is that understanding of our history. And for us to understand our greatness, and for us to understand our legacy and to continue to build legacies, we need to understand that history. I think in each of these individuals bring together something that is distinctive about us. Not only that legacy, not only that resilience in Nicole Dyer, the fashion forwardness in Rick Davey, the representation that Asha Lovelace speaks to. And then when we leave these shows and we go to different communities, how do we represent ourselves? So it's really bringing these individuals together to show us that excellence matters, brilliance matters, resilience matters. It's not okay to be ordinary. Mediocre is no longer, what we're aspiring to. We've got to remember. And I think when we think about our country as well, we spend so much time thinking about the things that may not be the best to inspire the excellence. And we have generations and generations of creators, of individuals in Trinidad and Tobago with such big dreams. And these are individuals who are realizing their dreams. And it's important to stand them up as these icons to ensure that other individuals are able to just take something from their story and of course run with it.
Wonderfully said. Definitely speaking to those who are right here at home wondering if they're able to make that impact, and being able to see yourself shows that you definitely can make that impact. Okay, so let's go to something that's very exciting aside from what you've just shared, which is the actual gala itself. It's Met Gala inspired, bringing in different components. So what can we expect from the fashion and the cultural showcase?
Well, I think one of the things that Trinidad and Tobago do well as the Trinidad and Tobago nationals, we like to look amazing. When you think about our carnival and the fact that we just have a way that we play with color, we play with style, we play with texture. So many of the individuals already are bringing that carnival couture to the runway, and we call it the runway because it's going to be on the Sir Winston, a very popular tourist yacht in New York City. And we begin on the river runway, and the backdrop for the cultural presentation is going to be the Statue of Liberty. The New York skyline will present the backdrop for the awards presentation. It is being hosted by Jeanette J. Lover, one of the top presenters on Tempo. And of course, we have performances from our Grammy Award winner Anselm Douglas, Charlie Griffith, Ricardo Mendoza. We also have Shamika Clark. We have Tassa. We have Pad. We have Chutney. It's really going to be a merging of the cultures and just a great way to represent us and to celebrate us and to ensure that Trinidad and Tobago excellence remains global and, of course, world class.
Now, as you mentioned that, the word excellence, I mean, you've mentioned it, we feel it resonating through this conversation. Some of the names you've mentioned, household names, people we know and love who show us that no matter where we are in the world, we can represent Trinidad and Tobago in fine style. What's beautiful about this, though, is seeing that we're looking at that strengthening of relationships. From what you've experienced so far and what you look forward to the future, how do you see this strengthening the relationship between us right here in the Caribbean and our diaspora family?
It's very, very critical. One of the things for me for the last 10 years, I have been on the global stage with my work, of course, in artificial intelligence and the ways in which we need to innovate intelligence. And one of the things that I always like to do is, even in my own journey or on my own journey, take time to celebrate others. And that is what is important. We now live in a very interconnected world. There really is no great space because of technology and because of social media between one landmass and another landmass. We're all totally connected. There is no, when you think about it, there is nothing that is local anymore. Everything is global because of platforms such as TikTok and, of course, Instagram and, of course, Facebook. What is critical for us is to understand our power. And our power is beyond these shores. Our power is globally wherever we are. And it's to keep those connections and to continuously celebrate others. Because in celebrating others, we lift up what is our legacy. We ensure that we are able to endure in any kind of space that we enter. And anyone who knows me knows how important excellence is to me. It is something that has become part of my own brand and something that I really like to ensure that we always put forward, because it is in our excellence that we continue to thrive. It's in our excellence that we inspire each other. It's in our excellence that we build better systems of governance, better systems to really lift up who we are as a society. And I think sometimes as a country, we forget how excellent we used to be.
Now, Renee, as somebody who's deeply involved in culture, in advocacy, and many other, as you would have mentioned, AI, so many different things throughout society, what excites you the most about this year's Rivers Runway?
I think what excites me the most is, one, my ability to say thank you to Dominic Calipasard. Dominic has been an extraordinary mentor to me. I entered the media at 18 years old, so I've had over 35 years or about 35 years of public life. I had the honor of sharing the set with Dominic when I worked at TV6 many moons ago. Of course, I always pay tribute to the studio that you're in as well, because I did spend some time in that studio, and just really saying thank you as well. It's just that sometimes in the busyness of our days and our own journeys, we often don't stop to tell the people who have inspired us thank you, because none of us become who we are by ourselves. Influences build us, experiences build us. We look to people and they build us. I would always say I have had some extraordinary media mentors, not only Dominic Calipasard, but Angela Martin, of course, Suzanne Lopez, Deborah John, Andy Johnson, Raoul Panton. These are, I mean, when I think about it, of course, Owen Batiste. These are the people who shaped me, and these are the people who showed me what excellence is. And of course, my own parents and my dad, Everett Galley Cummings, who I always pay tribute to. And I think my sense of patriotism, my sense of excellence, and my sense of giving back probably comes from his DNA.
That's absolutely wonderful. I mean, I hear that as well, what resonates with you personally as a Trinbagonian as well. I can't imagine the pride you also feel as being able to represent on such a beautiful scale and being able to interact with people, as you mentioned, who have mentored and also brought all of us to the forefront. What do you think is the future of River Runway as it stands right now, given all the groundwork that's already gone in?
Sure. Well, it's definitely going to be an annual event. It's definitely something we are going to look forward to creating annually and to lifting our citizens up. Again, we have got to go back to that place of excellence. We are world class. We speak about our Olympic sports people, our soccer teams, our cricket teams, our beauty queens, our steel pan. We invented the steel pan, so we invented global excellence. We invented, right? We invented innovativeness. So I think for us, it's very, very important. The other thing about this is that we are using this as a fundraiser to raise money for a program in Trinidad and Tobago that's led by Asha Lovelace, where she's teaching young women how to do filmmaking in a way in which they see themselves, in a way in which they build their own agency, in a way in which they understand the power of self actualization and self determination, and in a way in which they transform their lives from being, of course, justice involved to really living something that is more wholesome. So we're raising money, and if we're raising money, it means people need to buy a ticket. So if you want to get a ticket to this fantastic event in New York, you can go on to Eventbrite and you can click on Glamour and Giving, or you can reach out to me on Facebook or any of the awardees, and they would also tell you how to get a ticket. It's really going to be very, very exciting. The guest list is also quite spectacular. And I think everyone is just excited about celebrating each other and just lifting up what is magnificent about Trinidad and Tobago. And of course, Trinidad and Tobago having an extraordinary impact in New York City when we think about the West Indian Day Carnival, and just when we think about so many Trinidad and Tobago nationals who continue to soar globally, in particular the New York community.
Now, as you mentioned that, how important is it to see our culture, our fashion, and our heritage celebrated on that global stage of New York City?
Well, it is because at the end of the day, when we think about New York, Trinidad and Tobago has been intrinsic to New York's own history. When we think about the West Indian Day Carnival, it was started by a Trinidadian woman in Harlem, and then it, of course, moved to Brooklyn, and it's the biggest thing on Eastern Parkway. When you look at the event, you're not only seeing the glamour and the glitter and the costumes and who we are culturally, but you see every major politician in New York City ensuring that they have a presence on the Parkway. I think we've got to understand as a people, particularly Trinidad and Tobago. I mean, if you've spent any time in Brooklyn, I think one of the number one flags that you see is the Trinidad and Tobago flag. And Trinidad and Tobago has given so much to the culture of New York when you think about the roti. The roti is now one of the most popular dishes in New York. I speak to my friends from just every ethnicity or every part of New York, and they know what it is to go to Brooklyn for a roti. They know what the carnival is. They've heard steel pan music. So we've given so much all over the world. We have given so much of ourselves, and so many countries and cities sell us as part of their tourism strategy, sell us as part of their diversity strategy, sell us as part of their cultural strategy, and they capitalize on us. They capitalize on our creativity and our excellence and our diversity and all the things that make us spectacular. But it's time for us to capitalize on us. It's time for us to celebrate us. And it's time for us to say that we are deserving. It's time for us to say that we are amazing. And it's time for us to go back to that excellence. We've veered too far away from what is excellence, and we've been spending too much time in mediocre. It's time for us to move, the meter back to where we have always been, and really allow this next generation of Trinidad and Tobago nationals, wherever they are, to understand the power they hold, and of course, always the power of the imagination to transform their lives and to transform the lives of others.
That is a beautiful note to end on, Renee. Unfortunately, we've come to the end of our conversation. I want to say thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for all the work that you do, and really looking forward to seeing this grow and seeing ourselves continue to grow on a global scale. Have a wonderful day, and looking forward to chatting with you again soon.
And thank you for a fantastic interview. Thank you so very much.
It's our pleasure. Renee Cummings joining us this morning on the Now Morning Show, patron and honorary chair of the River Runway that's going to be happening on the 20th of September. We are speaking about honoring Trinbagonians, those that have grown right here that we love so much, getting that acknowledgement that they deserve, and also sharing ourselves with the world. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Before we go to our quick break, in case you missed it, this morning we spoke to the president of Tutor, Martin Lumpkin, speaking about what's been going on with the transition back to school. We also had the TTPS on set, speaking about the critical relationship between parents and children as we look at bringing down the levels of delinquency. And of course, our resident artist on set for the week, O'Malley, who has brought some color on this beautiful Monday morning. Stay tuned. There's more coming up after this break.